Welcome to Henry's Garage. In this episode, we're taking out the front suspension and the subframe. Okay, so we're going to remove the front suspension and the subframe. We're going to tidy all that up. So we'll start by jacking up the car at the front. We'll chock it at the back. We'll get this up so that we can get the wheels off and then start looking at what comes off next. Right, my first problem is stupidity in that I forgot to bring my ball joint splitter. So I'm going to have trouble getting some of these bits apart. But we'll go forward and we'll see how far we get. Right, we're going to start with the anti-roll bar. So we'll take these four, two on either side off, and then we'll go and take the nylocks off at the front. Hopefully that'll get the anti-roll bar out of there. I don't know, the other side's worse, but just sort of to show you the rust around here. For these pins I've got to get out. All the bits for all the nuts and bolts are off, but I can't wedge that loose at the moment from the trailing arm. So we're going to take the trailing arms off as well. Okay, so I've got a bit of a problem here. I've got the nut off the other side, but the bolt, it's a bit bent in and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out. So I might be taking everything off in one go, to be honest, by the end of this. We'll see. But yeah, that's proving hard to get out. So I think I'm going to actually try to take it all off in one go. So I'm going to remove the top of the suspension up there now and see how we get on. Before I was doing the suspension, I was just undoing this and it just, well, you can see it's breaking, but I need to disconnect the brake pipes, so that's what I was doing. Anyway, I'll finish getting it disconnected somehow. 5 of these nuts came off, 3 on the other side there, plus these 2. This one has rounded off. So I'm trying to get this 12mm hammered on top, so it's a size smaller, and I can't find a hammer in this garage, or a lump hammer or anything to get it pressed on to get that off. Right, so slightly different approach in the end. We've removed all the nuts. So hopefully, the steering rack is disconnected from it. The subframe, the nuts on the other side of these bolts are out. The suspension, everything's taken off, apart from this one bolt, which John is which John is currently cutting. And then I think we should be able to lower it. I guess my one concern is probably, I think the ball joint on that left hand side where John is didn't come apart, but it did on this side. I think, oh no, I haven't got it apart on this side either actually. So actually might need to deal with that as well before we try to lower it. And is that out? Oh, and I've forgotten to deal with this pipe. Forgotten to deal with this pipe as well on this side. So a couple of things to do. I did bring my ball joint splitter. Right, so we'll get those off now. Right, I think I've disconnected everything. So you can see the brake pipe's disconnected here. Bolts at the top. So I'm going to slowly lower the jack and we'll see if it all moves. No, jack has come away from the jack has come away from underneath. So there's something holding it all up still. I don't know what it is. Right. Right, I was showing you me lowering it, and I was talking it through, and I've just realised that it wasn't videoing. So, it was coming down slowly at the front, but the suspension, and we can see it on the other side still, was stuck in place. So, that's how we loosened the suspension. So been having all kinds of trouble with my camera, running out of space, and anyway, so yesterday I got this off, but I was videoing lowering it, but it didn't show up because the camera stopped. So we're gonna disassemble it now. So we've got it off the car. We're just gonna disassemble it and then clean up. Okay, so we have, we've got both hubs off.
Because it's unplugged from here.
So the hubs are off, the subframe and the roll bar are still there. One of the hubs we've taken apart, as in we've got the brake caliper here, which was nicely rusted on. We've got the spring off here, and the damper here. This popped out, so it looks like it's some piece of rubber, but we can't see where it goes, and it's not one that I recognise from the other car. So I don't know if that was filth or what. This damper doesn't seem too bad. It's a lot better than it was on the other car. You can see the pressure there. So we might get away without replacing the dampers. The back plate should be coming off, and I don't know why it's not, because I can't see anything else holding it there. So I think that's just rust. And then the hub itself, interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be this loose, but we have a bearing that just pops out. So I think that's not been put in properly at some point. Right, so this afternoon we're taking the engine along to the machine shop, and so probably won't do anything more today on this. We're going to have some lunch and then take the engine along. So, but we're making progress. It's coming apart. It'd be good if I can get back out this evening and get the rest of it apart, and then tomorrow can be spent cleaning. It is the next day. Yesterday afternoon took the engine, the block and the head, to a local machinist, a shop called Gary something. It is written G-A-R-I-O-A-C-H, but it's pronounced Gary. So, we're asking for directions, that caused some confusion. This is the other damper, and this is for the bin. So both dampers need replacing because you can't just replace the one. So I'm just taking this apart. The rubber that I couldn't work out what it was because I only had half yesterday was a full piece on this and just on the inside here and comes up. But so we'll finish taking this apart now. So maybe the bearing is meant to come out because it's come out of this one as well. Just slipped out. Well, this one won't do. I can't get it to come off the stub. So something in there is catching. And I don't know where. Well, I know it's down there somewhere. But it's caught on something and I need someone to hold the other end or something so I can give it a good yank. So I was just taking a quick break from trying to get the stub off. And I came over to look at this subframe. There's a couple of things here. First of all, these bushes, I mean, they need a clean, but they actually look like they're probably fairly recently put on, as in not really used. You can see this here, or this one. You know, it's got it from the top, but so they don't actually look that old, which is surprising to me. Especially when I then come and look at the subframe and realise this is actually going to need quite a lot of welding to it, which I hadn't actually, as I'm sure we're all aware, been expecting. So we've got a nice lot of rust trapped in here, but also I'm going to have to take this with me to weld up, I think, or bring the welder up here. I'm just surprised it's got new bushings and then all the metalwork looks so bad, but I guess that's what we have. So over here, I'm struggling to get this trailing arm out. I think that although the bolts have come out, I think it's slightly bent just on this side over here. So that's the one side against the other, which feels a lot flatter. So I think it's got bent in a bit there, so I think I'm gonna have to just get a crowbar, just pull that out a little bit to open it up so I can get that out. And then try to get the trailing arms, and I think these will just burn off on that basis. So the problem was the bearing is stuck. I broke out the outer sleeve and the little bearings are out, but you can see the inner sleeve still here compared to here. So I certainly don't have a bearing puller with me. I don't know if I have one. I might, but I was going to see if I can just get a screwdriver on there and bang it out. So the sleeve came off with a bit of heat quite easily. These, I mean, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can still see the smoke coming out of there. I've been applied a lot of heat and I just can't get either of them to budge. And I'm pretty sure it was heat that worked last time. My workmate is slightly better for this because I can get that underneath and it's easier to get pressure on. So it could be that. But I did give them an electrolysis bath as well. I think, I don't quite remember, but I think I did. And that might have got rid of some of the rust in there. So I've been at this for a while. I'm tired, I'm sweaty, and it's cold here, so I'm going to stop for a bit and have a think. Right, the trailing arms are off sway bar. So there the end of the sway bar. Over here I have the trailing arms. There's one. There's the other. So we've got the trailing arms off the sway bars. So there's the sway bar, and over here there's one trailing arm, and there's the other. Heat is what did it, but the thing that was stopping it coming off were these were just busted completely solid on there. So when we got those loose, the rubbers came off quite easily. So that just leaves me needing to get the dampers out of the struts. And I think heat is my only option here. So my phone keeps running out of space and it's downloaded stuff I don't want on it. Ugh, hate this thing. Right, anyway. As I was saying, this is the last bit. I think heat's the only way. I think I used electrolysis before, but and then heat, but I haven't got that opportunity here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do some wire wheeling on some of the other stuff to start cleaning it up whilst I have a bit of a break, and then I'll come back to this.